Hello dear student, welcome back in my economics classes. Today we are going to study Indian economic development. Under this book we are going to study unit 7, that is current challenges facing Indian economy, right? So under this unit we are going to discuss one of the major social and economic issues which is also a problem on the way of the development of our Indian economy. There is no any country who can say that they don't have such a problem in their economy. Even the developed country and the developing countries are also facing such a problem. That problem is a poverty, right? So poverty is a major economic and social problem. It's not only affecting the development of any of the country, it is also affecting the social life of the people, of the person, right? That's why I said social and economic problem, right? So in this video, we are going to discuss about what is poverty, who are poor, and how they can identify. What are the two measures of poverty? The categories of poverty or the types of poverty and poverty line. So let us get started. In a normal or simple language, if we'll ask what is poverty, then it is a state, it is a condition or situation in which the persons or the people they are not able to satisfy their basic requirements. So basic requirements means you all are knowing food, cloth and shelter, right? These are the basic requirements. So all those people who are not able to attend such a basic requirement or not able to fulfill such a basic requirements are comes under the poverty and called poor, right? But in economy the definition is very different, and in the economy poverty means it is an economic state or an economic situation in which the persons or the people are not able to satisfy or fulfill their basic requirements. These basic requirements are what? Pure drinking water, healthy and nutritious food, proper housing in a sanitized or healthy locality, education and a good health facility. This will be included in the basic requirements, right? So nowadays under the economy, not only food, shelter or clothes are the required for the people to satisfy their needs. Also education as well as the standard of health facility or good health facility is also required for each and every individuals, right? That's why under the economy poverty is a state or it is an economic condition in which the people are not able to get or satisfy the needs of the healthy food or nutritious food, pure drinking water, good and sanitized housing facilities in their locality, in their area, as well as a good education and a good health facility, right? So who are the people? All those people, all those persons who are not able to get all these facilities, who are not able to fulfill these facilities for their family, not able to satisfy these needs can be called poor, right? Poor people can be differently recognized in the urban area and the rural area. By the first sight also we can recognize that who are the poor people and who are the people who can able to earn or satisfy their basic requirements, right? So in this book some characteristics are given. These characteristics shows that whosoever person or the people are having such a character, they comes under the poverty, right? And they are called poor. So it is very simple. We can also identify by such a character of a poor people, right? So first of all it is given hunger and starvation. Yes, we can easily identify such a people as a poor who don't have a proper meal in a day. Proper meal in a day, that means not only to satisfy their hunger, but the proper means adequate calorie or nutrition which has been set by the World Health Organization or the health ministry, right? So poor people, they are not able to fulfill their basic requirements of the food, healthy food, right? It is compulsory for each and every person that they have to take 3 meals in a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But the poor people, they are hardly get all these 3 meals in a day, only one either or two, and that is also not under the calorie based food, right? So these people can be easily identified as a poor. The second character has been given, that is poor health. Yes, just because they don't have a proper meal, proper nutrition which is required for their body, which is required for their health, they don't have such a fulfillment, such a satisfactory level. That's why they used to get ill often, right? And by first sight we can recognize with their weathered and weak body, and they used to get ill many times, and they don't have proper hospital facilities, medicine and all to get rid from such illness or major diseases. So the poor people can also be identified by their poor health, by their weak physical health, right? Now, third thing is debt trap. Just because the poor peoples are not having the enough earning for their family, so they used to take loan from the money lenders, and the money lenders, they used to charge a huge interest on their loan. So that's why the poor people, they always lives in a huge debt, and because they are not aware of such an institutional facility provided by the government, and the process are also very lengthy, they don't want to go to such institution like bank and other institution set by the government. They used to go to the money lenders because it is very easy way to take loan, and that's why they get burden of such a debt. Always they are in the burden of the debt and paying interest, right? So by this also we can recognize the poor people. Next is weak bargaining power. The poor people, just because they are lacking of the good education facility, so they can't bargain for their earnings, they cannot negotiate for their salaries, for their wages and the other earnings, right? So whatever the employer is ready to give, they accepted it. They cannot bargain, they cannot negotiate their earnings. So this is also one of the character of poor people. Next is lack of facilities of electricity and water. As I told you that water and electricities, these are also comes under the basic requirement. So these poor people, they don't have a proper electricity, they don't have proper water. Water means pure drinking water, right? So for that they have to fight in their locality, and by that unpure water they get sick many time, right? So these facilities also they are not able to get. Next is gender inequality. Gender inequality, that means they are giving more importance to the male child other than the girl child, right? If in case of education they only prefer for the boys, they don't prefer for the girls. If they want to take the major decision regarding their family or something, they take idea from the boys, they are not involving the girls. So they used to do the gender inequality, gender bias, just because they are not literate properly. They think that the girls are only meant for the household work and helping mother, right? So this mentality also comes under the poor people and poverty. Next is identification on the basis of occupation. Yes, on the basis of their occupation, their employment, we can easily identify those who are working as a laborer, those who are working in a low wages rate or comes under the poor people, under the poverty, right? Like in our locality, we can see some laborer working in a construction of a building or something, like gardener, like housemaid. So these all people are comes under the poor people. So by their occupation also we can easily identify it. Next and the last category character is migration to urban area. The people, they want to get more income and more earning. For that they used to migrate from one area to the another area. Wherever they find their job, wherever they find their wages very well, they used to go in that area, that locality, and that's why their family used to migrate from one place to another place for the good earning, for the good source of earning, right? So this all characteristics are defining all those person or people are having such a character, they comes under the poor. Let's see once again. First, the poor people used to be hunger, only one type of meal they used to have in a day, and that is also not in satisfactory manner, not in adequate calorie. Second, the poor people used to be sick many times, okay, and they, by their weak body and physically illness, we can recognize that these are the poor people. They always trapped in a debt by the money lenders, and hardly they are able to repay the loan. They have the very weak bargaining power. They cannot be negotiate with their employer to increase the salary or wages, and they are also having the very less facilities of electricity and the pure drinking water. Because of illiteracy, they used to do the gender bias between the boy child and the girl child. They give preference to the boy child, and they think that the girls are meant for the only household work, right? And they can easily identify by their occupation, by their work or source of earning, and then they used to migrate from one place to another place in the search of job and proper source of earning, right? So these people are called poor people. Now let's see the two measures of poverty. There are two measures set by the government which is determine the state of poverty. There are relative poverty and absolute poverty. Now let's see what is relative poverty. Relative poverty is a measure or a method on the basis of which the government used to compare the income of the two different people, income of two different region, income of two different countries, and on the basis of that they determine that which person comes under the poverty, which region comes under the poverty, and which country comes under the poverty. For example, like if you compare the income of a teacher, mine, or a laborer, so easily you will get that the income of a laborer is less than mine, right? So on the basis of comparing the income of two different person, the government are determining that which person comes under the state of poverty, that is laborer. Second, based on the region. So in that base, the government used to compare the income of a one particular region with the different region. For example, the urban areas and the rural areas, right? On the basis of that, on the basis of their income and the development, the government used to determine that which region which region comes under the poverty. As well as same in the context of country. While you are comparing the income of one particular country, let us see Pakistan and another, that is India. So easily you will get that Pakistan comes under the poverty. But if you will compare the income of the country of India as well as China or USA, then you will easily get that the Indian country comes under the state of poverty. Understood very well what is relative poverty? Once again, relative poverty is a measure or a method to determine the state of poverty on the basis of income of persons, regions and the country. Understood? Now let us proceed further. That is second, absolute poverty. Absolute poverty refers to the measure or the method set by the government with the help of poverty line, right, which we are going to study further. So under that poverty line, it has been set the criteria of minimum calories intake as well as the consumption level. So this absolute poverty is based on the minimum level of consumption. That means how much one person in a month used to spend money on their livelihood or on their fulfillment of basic requirements, right? So what are the criteria set by the poverty line? Here it is mentioned, when a person in a rural area, there are two different category has been set for the rural area as well as the urban areas, right? So the person living in a rural area, if he or she used to spend rupees 816 per month, right, or below 816, either rupees 816 or less than rupees 816, and living in a rural area, so that person comes under the poverty, right? This criteria, this consumption is based on the per month consumption, and as well as in the in the urban area, rupees 1000 per person per month. If the person living in an urban area and not able to spend 1000 rupees per month, or spending 1000 rupees if less than 1000 or 1000, right, then both will comes under the poverty. Understanding? And that should be per month. Monthly expenses. Monthly expenses means expenses on the food, expenses on the other basic requirements, right? So if the rural areas people and the urban areas people are not able to spend rupees 816 and rupees 1000 per month in their basic requirement, for fulfilling their basic requirement, so such a people will comes under the poverty state by the poverty line, and this method is generally used to determine the poverty by absolute poverty measure or method. Understood very well? So once again, let us recap. Absolute poverty is a measure or a method to determine the state of poverty on the basis of minimum consumption or minimum expenses, right? So two different areas or two different regions are having two different category. 816 rupees for the rural areas people. If a person is not able to spend rupees 816 for buying his or her basic requirements in a month, or only able to spend 816 rupees, so that person will comes under the poverty. Similarly, in the urban areas, if a person is not able to spend even 1000 rupees per month, or only able to spend 1000 rupees for buying his basic requirement things or fulfilling his basic requirement, so that person will also comes under the poverty, that is set by the poverty line under the absolute measure of poverty. Understood very well? After getting the two measure or two method to determine the poverty, it was challenge in front of the government to find out who the poor are. So for that, the government has set the poverty line on the basis of the government is dividing the poor people as well as the non-poor people. So before that, let us discuss about the categories of poverty. Right? How the poor people can be categorized, or the types of poor people. So here the two types has been given. Under the first type, the chronic poor, transient poor and non-poor is been categorized. And under the second category, poor and non-poor are categorized. These two are based on the poverty line, right? Now let's see the first category, which is determine the poor people. Under this category of chronic poor, transient poor and non-poor, three different categories of or group of peoples has been determined. That first one is chronic poor. Chronic poor, under this two categories of people are coming: always poor and usually poor. Always poor means group of people or individual who are by birth poor. They don't have proper income or the other facility to survive, right? So they comes under the always poor. For example, the person who has been taken birth in a poor family, as well as the family has no proper income to fulfill the basic requirements and the other social amenities of such a person or a child. So that child or person will be called always poor, and till the end of his or her life, till the death, that person will be poor. Understood? Second is usually poor. Usually poor are the group of people or person sometimes who move out from their poverty line. For example, casual workers, whenever they have a proper job to do, they have regular income. On that case, they move out from the poverty line and poverty, and they are not being called so poor or chronic poor, right? So the chronic poor has also two categories: always poor and usually poor. Always poor means the person or group of people who are by birth poor. They don't have anything to survive from the life or fulfill the basic requirements and the social amenities. And usually poor means the people sometimes whenever they have income, they tend to move out from the poverty line, and they used to satisfy their basic requirement with their regular income. Just like I had given the example of casual worker, whenever they have job, they earn regular income and they get satisfied the basic requirements of their family and themselves. That time they are not being called chronic poor, right? Now the second one is transient poor. Under the transient poor, also there are two categories: churning poor and occasionally poor. So here the churning poor, they used to move out regularly on the basis of their incomes and earning, right? For example, you can take an example of a small farmer, a seasonal worker, or a rickshawala, a taxi driver. Okay, so every day someday they have to live in a poverty, and the other days when they have income, they used to move out from the poverty. So such type of people comes under the churning poor, and these churning poor also comes under the transient poor. Understood? So I had given the example of small farmer, a taxi driver or auto rickshaw driver when they have a lots of income. Okay, suppose an auto wala earn more than 5,000 one day, then that day he will move out from the poverty. And suppose just next day there was no any customer for him, so that day he become poor, right? So churning poor are the people of those category who used to move out every day from the poverty, and whenever they have income, they not poor, means not so poor, and whenever they don't have, they become poor. The next category, that is occasionally poor. Occasionally poor means the person who are rich most of the time, but sometimes they don't have money to spend for the fulfillment of basic requirements, right? So by this you can take the middle class family under this category, occasionally poor. Wherever they have income, they got salary, they used to spend in their basic requirements, fulfilling in their basic requirements. But at the time of month end, when they have no income, no salary, right? Because at the beginning they got the salary, at the end of the month the salary is going to reduce, right? It's the money is going to reduce. So at that time they become poor. So middle class family is exactly comes under the occasionally poor. Understood very well? Now the third category under the category A is non-poor. Non-poor means you all know the people or group of people, person, those who are never face the problem of dissatisfactory regular requirements or basic requirements, right? So the people, those who always able to satisfy their basic requirements and the other social amenities are comes under the non-poor, right? So I hope you understood very well the three different category: chronic poor, transient poor and non-poor. Once again, chronic poor are the two different people. Always poor, those who are by birth living in a poverty condition, in a poverty situation. They don't have money to spend in their fulfillment of the basic requirements. And usually poor means the person, whenever they have income, they used to spend for their basic requirements, and they don't come under the always poor, right? And whenever they don't have the money to satisfy the basic requirements, they comes under the poor people. Next category was transient poor. Under this also two category has come: churning poor and occasionally poor. Churning poor are the people, those who every day used to fight against the poverty, right? Every day they used to fight, like someday they have more income, another day they don't have income or very less income. In that case they are surviving every day from the phase of poverty, and when they have income they don't come under the poverty, and when they don't have, they comes under the poverty. Occasionally poor means the people or group of people like middle class families. Whenever they have the time of their income, they satisfy all their basic requirements, and till the end of the month they become poor, right? And the non-poor, who never comes under the phase of poverty, they never face the challenges of poverty or dissatisfaction of basic requirements, right? So now the second category of poverty is poor and non-poor, right? So it is very difficult to categorize those who are poor and what type of poor. So for this, the poverty line has been designed. The concept of poverty line was first time discussed by Dadabhai Naoroji, right? Who was the first person who discussed about such type of scale to measure the poor people, and among the poor people, those who are very poor and poor or non-poor, right? So the poor are who? They are the people, those who are absolutely poor and not able to satisfy their basic requirements. And non-poor means the people, those who are having enough money or income or earning to satisfy their basic requirements. Now let's see through the poverty line scale. Now you will be asking, madam, what is poverty line, right? So as a definition, I want to give you that poverty line is a scale of measurement who dividing or determining the two category of people, poor or non-poor, right? For this, the poverty line has been set the two different status. First is calorie norms, as I told you before, and second is per day consumption or per month consumption on the basis of their expenses and on the basis of their calorie intake, whatever they are having. These can be determined or divide the people among poor and non-poor, right? So once again, poverty line is a scale or a measurement on the basis of which the poor people and non-poor people can be identified or determined. So on the basis of poverty line, the poverty line has been set the two different norms. On the basis of that, the government used to determine the group of poor people and non-poor people. As I told before also, these two categories, these two measurements are calorie based norms and monthly consumption. Okay, the minimum consumption or expenditure. Right. So let us discuss first of all what is the calorie based norm. Again, for the region, on the basis of region, rural area and urban area, two different calories has been set. Here, for the rural areas, 2400 per person per day should be take. Okay, what should be the calorie intake for one person in a rural area? 2400 calorie. If a person in a rural area is not able to have 2400 calories per day, so that person can be identified as a poor and living in a poverty line, right? For the urban areas, it has been set 2100 calories, right? So if we'll talk about the urban area, if a person per capita expenditure means per person, right? So if a person in an urban area is not able to take 2100 calories per day, so that person will comes under the poverty line. So this line has been made. Under that line, what are the criteria? 2400 for rural area and 2100 for urban area. All those people who are able to take the calories of more than 2400 in rural area and more than 2100 in urban areas, so those person will comes after the poverty line and they are called non-poor. Understood how the poverty line works and identify the poor and non-poor, right? So on the basis of calorie norms, 2400 calories per day in a rural area and 2100 calories per day in a urban areas, right? All those who fail to achieve such a calorie or achieving such a calorie more than that or that only are coming under the poverty line, right? And those who are taking more than such a calories are crossing the line and living in a non-poor. Second category which has been meant by the poverty line, that is minimum consumption, minimum level of consumption, right? So which we had already discussed, minimum level of consumption 816 rupees per month per person in a rural area. The person or the group of people, if they are not spending that much money per month for buying the basic requirement, so that person comes under the poverty line and they are recognized as a poor people. In the urban area, 1000 rupees. If the person in an urban area are not able to spend 1000 rupees in their food, shelter, clothes and medical education, so these people comes under the poverty line and called poor people. Understood? So on the basis of these two, first of all calorie norms and second is minimum level of consumption. So on the basis of these two, the poverty line measures the people of poor and non-poor. Understood very well what is poverty line here and how it works, right? But after determining the proper scale for determining the poor people or non-poor people, there are some limitations. There are some drawbacks of poverty line Sometimes this poverty line also failed to achieve the target or to identify the really poor people. Right? As we all know that poor people are having many categories like chronic poor, transient poor, always poor, usual poor, occasionally poor, churning poor, right? So, which person is required more facility or more help from the government? It is very difficult to determine. That's why I said sometimes the poverty line is fail to categorize the poor people, right? So what is the first drawback of poverty line? The first drawback is that it is very difficult to identify among the poor people that who are more needy and who are less than them, right? The poverty line only determining the poor people and non-poor, but it is not determining or not identifying those who are very poor and those who are less than the others, right? Second limitations or second drawback is of poverty line to identify among the poor people that who are really not able to satisfy their basic requirements or basic amenities, social amenities, right? For example, nowadays the government has set so many cooperative society, cooperative rationing society. On the basis of that, it is very difficult to determining that which people are really very poor, because some other poor people like middle class people are also taking such a facility and showing that they are poor, right? So in that case the poverty line become failure. The third drawback is that not only the calories as well as the per month expenditure can be determined that those who are poor and very poor, right? Sometimes the people are able to have food or the other things, but they don't have proper education and health facility. So such people are also comes under the poor, which poverty line cannot be able to define or determine, right? So that's why this is the third limitation of poverty line. It is only based on the calorie norms and per month expenses, but it cannot be described that these are not only the basic requirements. The health and the education is also a basic requirement, right? So the poverty line cannot determine this satisfactory level of the poor people as well as non-poor, right? The next category is lack of civil and political freedoms. We all are knowing that the poor people, they don't have such an information about what the government is planning for eliminate or reduce their poverty, right? So they don't have political freedom or civil information. So such people can also become under the poor people because don't have such a knowledge information as they are not literate, right? So poverty line cannot determine this scale to measure the poor people. It is only determining the calories per day and per month expenses, right? If the people is able to get such a thing, but again the other facility like education and health, they are lacking for it, as well as they don't have freedom for the civil and political issues. So such people can also come under the poor, which poverty line cannot be determined or identified. So these are the limitations, or you may call drawbacks of poverty line, under which the poverty line fail to measure really between the poor people and the non-poor people. I hope you liked the video, you understood all the explained topic, and if you have any query regarding this, you can write to me in the comment box. So next topic which are left, we will discuss in the next video. Till then, take care, keep study and Text me, message me if you have any doubt regarding the explained topic. Okay, thank you.